right.
Okay, can you hear me, Sierra?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm assuming I'm sitting in the middle of the screen.
Hmm.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Everything looks good. All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Sierra Tillman, and I am here with Expandcast. And today we are interviewing the amazing Michael Green, and we will be talking about Black-owned small businesses and what all of that entails. So, to start off, what do you want to say today, Michael? How do you want to introduce yourself?
Um, Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Green. I'm just a I'm just a guy from Baltimore City that started a couple businesses with my own talents, and hopefully, I can shed some light and give you some information today that will help someone start their own businesses and get into the free market, make some money. Do what you love. That's hope. That's what I hope I can do today.
Awesome.
And thank you, Sierra, for giving me the opportunity to do this interview.
Of course. So, we'll start off with as you and Ron set up White Box Media Company, were you intentionally aiming to create a business known for its excellence in minority ownership?
Um, Known for its excellence, yes, but not the focus on minority ownership.
Mhm.
Um, I Just for me being a person of color, um, or as they say, minority. I never looked at business that way. I just thought, hey, I like doing photography. I like doing graphic design. I think I can make money off of this, and I don't think there was uh, a minority spin to it. When I met Ron and we decided to go into business together, we both just was following our passion. He liked to do photography. He got into a little bit of graphic design. He was like, "Man, we should create a company." And I was like, "Yeah, we should create a company." And that's how it came up. Um, the the minority thing came later after we realized we just were part of basically what's going on in America now, just the way business is moving. The market is being more diverse. It's And we just realized that we just kind of matched that market. So, but the focus was we just wanted to do our passion. That's how that worked out.
Awesome. That's what definitely matters. But how has your experience as a Black man shaped your business?
Um, it's funny because um, growing up in this country as a black man, you are reminded of it every single day. And uh, no politics aside, I've had my own experiences personally where I've been, reminded that people are just going to think less than of me based on my skin color. Period. In the story. Um, so when I got into business, I didn't carry that baggage with me. I really didn't. I just thought, oh, I'm good at this. I can make money off this. Let's go try it. Like any other hardworking American, any farmer, any tradesman, anybody that has learned a skill set and wants to apply it and make money for themselves and go into business doesn't really think about racial issues. The public in general brings that to your doorstep. And my example is that basically, uh, as I was advertising my photography to customers or potential customers, clients trying to get business, um, a the very uh, there was a white person that I was pitching to, and it was the first time somebody had asked me, "Do you take pictures of white people, or do you have any pictures of white people?" And I thought to myself, why should that matter if I'm a professional? If my work is good, why should it matter that I take pictures of white people? And that's the first time I had to entertain race in my business or for myself.
For sure, yes. But it's really good that you were able to not let that baggage hold you down because you were here just to, make your mark, live out your passion, and run your businesses regardless of what the rest of the world says or thinks or has their own prejudices.
Yes. And it's kind of funny because we found out that doing our business, learning every single thing we needed to learn, we learned that because human beings are flawed, there is a bias in marketing or in business in general.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like to admit it because they want to think that they're not racist or biased or feminist or sexist or whatever, however you want to judge it or term it. People just don't want to go down that road because they don't want to think they are. But marketing is that. Um, when you talk about doing business with a specific demographic, salesmen do it all the time. If you understand that your demographic is white upper middle class females, that's who the salesmen look for and pitch to.
Mm-hmm.
They look for that mold. Is there anything wrong with that? No, it's a free society. If that's who's buying your product, that's who you should be pitching to.
Mm-hmm.
But it does hold a question to people of color that when you get into the free marketplace, depending on who's buying your product and what you are selling, who is your demographic? Who are you pitching to? You know, who do you want to buy your product? Because this country is racial. It is. It's just the way it is. You know, you can't just blame one set group of people and just say, oh yeah, the country's racist because of these people. No, it just now is. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're selling a certain type of clothing, if you're selling a certain type of car, if you're selling a certain type of just service in general, you really do have to think about what the face of your business is supposed to look like and who do you want to buy that product, and you market towards that. And it was kind of frustrating at first because like I said, as a person of color, when you come from a certain community, you are proud of your work and you think your work should stand on its own merit, especially if you think the quality is there. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes in and says, well, it's not quite what we're looking for. And people will tell you that just because they don't see them in your work racially, basically. It's not representative of them. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
I'm sure. I can only imagine. But marketing, at the end of the day, it's just knowing your demographic, and there are a lot of biases included in that.
Yes.
And you need to, like you said, pitch to who you want to buy your product. And you've done a great job with that at White Box.
Thank you.
Um, so how have you been able to leverage your background to speak to wider audiences in your personal life and your professional life?
Pretty much it's what the issue here is love, not hate. Is we can all work together and achieve a common goal. What and without demonizing each other or attacking each other's differences. So if I understand a certain product takes a certain direction and speaks to a certain type of person, that doesn't mean that's racist. Okay, what that means is that this group of people that have all these things in common like a specific product, and so that's what we have to help that customer with to get his product out there. If I feel like you shouldn't get offended because of our differences, but at the end of the day we can still celebrate them and still create a marketplace where everybody can still prosper. um uh I mean, it's case in point. I mean, it's Coca-Cola and McDonald's to put them out there. They do the same exact thing. They market to different demographics, or and it's not them trying to be racist. They understand that people in this country are different. There is a different culture from a group of people to another set of group of people. So if you want to sell your product and you really care about selling your product to these different cultures, are you willing to invest in yourself to sell your product to these different cultures? And that's what it comes down to. So yes, there's a bias with people, but that doesn't mean that it has to be racist, so to speak. All you're doing is celebrating the difference in all our cultures and creating a good and even marketplace for everybody.
That's very true. Celebrating differences can be a really great thing, and you just got to market to what you want. And the McDonald's and Coca-Cola was a great example. But you kind of already answered this. But what has your experience looked like as a Black business owner, and what do you think has made your experience similar and different from the typical business owner?
Um, wow, that is a good question. I did answer some of it, but I do have a little bit to add.
Yeah.
When it was hard when I first got in because there were certain things I had to learn. I had to get over myself. I had to work on myself first of all. Nobody has the keys to the kingdom. There is no 100% philosophy that works across the board for everything. Ignoring that the bias is there does not make you a better business person. Knowing that the bias is there and try to find a way to either work with it or around it, depending on, what the situation is key. So what I had to do was I had to look within myself and see if my mindset was wrong, first of all. And then once I saw that I was just trying to do good business, I started doing business with people that were already at that level that I wanted to do business with. So as a person of color, if I saw that there was a quote unquote white person that was already doing business like that, hey, how are you doing business like that? Hey, can I learn something from you? There wasn't this instinctual hate. The problem is that I don't think people are having conversations and trying to learn from different cultures. I grew up in a conservative household, but I don't think my views are necessarily conservative. But I have still learned from people that are conservatives, uh, specifically when it comes to points of finance, money, bookkeeping, accounting, things of that nature. So what ends up happening is that when you have these conversations with people, specifically people outside of your culture, you have the ability to now learn something you did not know. So now I can add that to my toolbox, and now I can understand how to market or talk to or even sell to a different demographic outside of my culture. I think a lot of people don't want to do that. I've met people that think that, oh, this culture has the since I'm from this culture and this is the only culture that I'm used to, I'm only going to sell within this culture because that's what I'm used to. And I myself saw that that was a handicap, specifically in business. Um, yeah, you might be successful for a while, but in today's dynamic, it ends up being a big handicap.
Mm-hmm.
And partnering with someone like Ron Suzuki has helped me understand that point.
I bet, yeah. Um, so speaking of your toolbox, what other tools have you found and resources that have helped build your career? Like, I know you've done a lot of collaborative efforts, like with Ron building White Box, but and you made a really great point as to, business is all about stepping outside of your comfort zone, and you might feel nervous about marketing outside of the culture you grew up in, but at the end of the day, that's a handicap and that's not going to make you as successful. What other tools have helped you build these businesses?
Um, One, we definitely had to understand that companies run on team building. And definitely when people say, and it's not a tagline, when people say the more diverse your team is, the more successful your company will be, that is so true.
Yeah.
Specifically in America. I can tell you that right now. Um, uh, what what I've what I've learned in doing or what I've gained in my toolbox is learning that sometimes you're just gonna need, say, a female point of view on something. Sometimes you're just gonna need a young person view on something. Sometimes you're just gonna need a older person view on something to adjust how you do your business. Another thing that I added to my toolbox, the aforementioned how to do payroll and some other things that I weren't used to, being a quote unquote solopreneur, as they say. When I got into photography, it was just me. All I had to do was worry about me and my own money and handling my own account. And now we're running this business and people have to be paid and we have to have contracts written. And so uh, we had to, you have to have a lawyer, you have to have an accountant,
Mhm.
all the paperwork has to be right. You have to have proper bookkeeping. So when you file your taxes, the federal government doesn't doesn't audit you. All these things have to be added to your toolbox to run a company. Um, we've learned from mistakes where we've tried shortcuts and it didn't work, and obviously we've overcame those and paid for them. But um, I think a lot of people, if I can give a warning right now, I think there's a lot of people out there that are trying to advise people that, it's like this, oh, it doesn't take all that type of attitude. Oh, you don't need to do all that. It doesn't take all of that. I can promise you that it does take all of that. If
Mhm.
you want your company to put out a quality professional product and you want to protect your employees or protect your company, there are certain things you just have to do. You just have to do that. There's no getting around it. There's no shortcut. There's no, oh, I know a guy that knows a guy that can hook you up on that. We tried that, years ago, and it didn't work. It just ends up bad for everybody. And I mean, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a great message to send out to entrepreneurs and solopreneurs that out there is that you're going to need a team.
Yes.
And the more diverse your team is, the more you will excel because you all have different points of view and each of those little things are going to help build towards a better project, better product. And a lot of people just want to get there fast, and there really are no shortcuts. And if you don't take the shortcuts and actually work through it, as you said, like you will actually get there quicker than you realize than making the mistakes by learning that you can't always take a shortcut, especially when it comes to business.
Yes, definitely. It
So
was, it
what
was a hard lesson to learn. Hard
right?
lesson
No,
to learn.
I'm sure it's not easy because you're like, oh yeah, I've worked hard. Um, Maybe if I take this small shortcut, it'll help. But at the end of the day, it doesn't. It just really doesn't. So, what would you say to all of the businesses, mainstream, local owned, if you could say anything to a startup, what would it be?
To your startup, word of mouth and organic is is your best way of starting your business. Um, you A lot of times startups don't have the backing, the investments, the fundage, uh, the or should I we call it the capital
Mhm.
to start off at a certain point. So what you want to do, especially if you know you have a quality product, is because you'll most likely be like a solopreneur. You'll have a small team. You have to get that organic out there. You got to get that word of mouth out there. Use social media. Use whatever you can do. Uh, uh, Whatever you can do to sell your product and get it up there, you get it up there. Once you get to that certain point where you increase your pipeline and your demand goes up, then you can start thinking about the next level where you're talking about marketing and how do you invest that profit back into your business to increase how many people you can reach and sell to, thus and create, the more people that buy your product, basically the more money you make. So but the startups, the biggest thing is stay away from the high dollar business advisors. What we are seeing right now, specifically on Facebook, is I'll give you a great example. A business advisor, some business advisor guru, will charge you, say, I'll make a nice round number. They'll charge you $5,000 for their advice and then tell you that they're going to implement $1,500 worth of services in your business. And most of it is free stuff, like a Gmail account or something like that. You need to stay away from those kind of advisors. Anybody telling you to do that, stay away from those guys, because I don't care what their portfolio looks like. I don't care how pretty their website looks. I don't care how pretty they look on video, what their webinars and whatever they're doing. I can honestly tell you that that is a bad platform. When you invest in professional products, it's going to cost money. Nobody questions why BMW or Mercedes-Benz cost that much money. Nobody questions it. They just know for a fact because it has that reputation for the quality. They understand what they're buying when they get it. If you want to make that kind of investment, you have to know what kind of capital you're working with, and you have to be ready to make that kind of investment. You cannot get a BMW on Honda Civic prices. And that's what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's trying to advise your business, trying to tell you that you can make that kind of money with little to no investment, and you're about to pay them all this money for them to show you how to do that, that is wrong answer. You really need to stay away from those people. And that's for the startups. Um, Other than that, um, I think it's fun. I enjoyed my days of when me and Ron first started when we first started our first businesses, and all the fun we had when we were doing it because we were doing what we love. And never forget that a lot of times people are starting a business because they have a talent or something that they're good at and they're just doing what they love, and they are convinced that they could just make money doing what they love. Never lose that. uh, don't try to make it about a dollar point. When you get into business, there is a certain dollar point that you want to reach or for your business to be sustained, and that's okay. But if you lose the passion for that and make it a corporate dollar thing, then it becomes real work, and then you just lose the passion for it, and then it just, I don't know. We've just seen people just give up on their dreams just because, you know, oh, I didn't make this dollar point, so it's worthless. And sometimes we hate to see that in the free market. We've watched our friends give up on their dreams because they feel like it's worthless because they can't reach a dollar point. Not because it's not financially beneficial, because they just feel like, oh, I didn't make $500,000 this year, so it's pointless. It's I mean, to each his own, but you got to understand that when you go into business, it just can't be about money. It just can't. It if that's all it is, then at some point, when is enough money enough? I mean, that's the only question I have for people that are doing that. So um, keep the passion, keep doing what you love, um, and just keep an open mind when you're dealing with people, because everybody is different, every culture is different, and and hopefully, having conversations like we are having, Sierra, you can understand where you can not make some of the mistakes that people like me and Ron did when we started our company, and you can be even more successful than we are. But that's what I hope. That's what I hope.
Yeah, there's a lot of great messages in there. So you really got to keep that passion and invest in yourself, but also don't be afraid to question those gurus about their services, because you're right. Like, if you're investing in yourself, it's going to cost money.
Yes.
But the return you should have should not be a bunch of free services that you could Google and figure out how to do on your own.
Yes.
You can't pay somebody to do something free for you when you could pay somebody like Whitebox or other people to market and learn your business, learn your demographic, and actually give you a return and give you things that you pay to see that return. You get that investment. You should never pay to get free accounts to
Yes.
set up your business.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of that, and we're not saying that we have. And I want to be very clear. I am not knocking anybody that has a platform like that. This is a free market. You can sell whatever you want to, but it goes without saying, reasonable man thinking or common sense. If I have to pay you for you to implement free services for me, something's wrong. That's just common sense thinking. If I'm paying you, there should be a return on my investment.
Mm-hmm.
That means you should implement a product or implement something that I pay for with my money that turns around and brings me a return on that investment.
Yes.
So that's what I should be paying you for. Free stuff does not give you a return on your investment. And
Gotcha.
I'm free services just don't. That's if I as a company give you a free service, that's a gimme. But for me to try to attract you to spend more money on me, that's what that is. If I tell you you need to get a Gmail account and it's free, where's the return on your investment? Because you just paid me money as a business advisor to tell me I need to get a free Gmail account for email. Okay, so what can I do with that? How do I get a return on that investment? Because I just paid you to tell me get that account. And I'm sure people are going to get on this post and go, oh, some people just don't, and this, that, and the other. And I get it. That may be your opinion. But at the end of the day, that if you do a function in your business, there has to be a reason that you're doing it, that you're investing in yourself in that way, meaning that that's going to allow you to gain traction in your business, bring in a profit, reach a certain demographic, do something. It has to provide a function. If it's just a free service, most of the time, reasonable man thinking, it's a one-off, and you just get that one thing, and that's it. There's usually nothing that you can get out of that for residual income or, as we say, a return on investment.
Yeah. It's a good thing. A lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people are very trusting and don't think, you should always question the return, or when you're getting into a contract with somebody, make sure you are clear on what the return is roughly going to be, or is it going to be a bunch of free stuff, but what is that actually bringing you? What is that bringing to your business table? Or is it just a little sprinkle when you need the whole cake? So if there was any, like, I know a lot of your stuff kind of connects together, which is great. What else would you say to specifically Black owned and minority owned businesses?
Um, always, always be your worst critic. Never think you have the keys to the kingdom. You can always learn something from. I know people hate networking now, but but you can always learn something from networking with people that are in the same business that you're in, specifically people that are doing business at a higher rate or at a certain level that you wish to reach. Um, if just don't stop asking questions. Always ask questions. Always vet information. Never just think just because you got one professional that you have the key to the kingdom and that's the answer for everything. If you want second opinions, get second opinions. Um, but always be your worst critic. Always make sure that you care more about the quality of your product than the quick money. We've also seen where people are just starting businesses for quick money.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, the masks. Uh, COVID-19 happened, and there are more people selling face masks than any other. I mean, it jumped up faster than T-shirts and custom
Sure
tennis.
did.
I mean, jewelry, whatever. It has nothing on masks now.
No.
So, but the problem is that I've watched people put masks on and watch the strings just pop right off. Quality. I've watched people wearing masks and they're sitting there talking to you, and the mask splits right down the middle and falls right off their face.
Wow.
So, so I mean, it is what it is. So I mean, I'm just asking people that are really in a startup and they're just really, you know, you selling a product or you're doing a service, really care about your quality. Be your own worst critic. Ask yourself, if I was somebody and I got this from me, would I be mad if I got this? Would I be mad at the person that sold this product to me? Would I be mad if this person gave me this kind of service? If you know when you get your hard-earned money and you want BMW, Mercedes Rolls Royce type of service, and your product is down there with salvage and junk cars, but you can do that because you can get over and make real money, and you can make a lot of money doing that. I mean, who are we kidding here? You can't, you really can't get mad if your business does not survive, or if you start getting a lot of complaints about your business. So just make sure you're your worst critic. Make sure you concentrate on quality. Make sure you concentrate that you just want to give a good product, a good service.
Yeah, that's great. And, take that constructive criticism, apply it to your business. And I really love asking yourself, would you be mad? Would you be disappointed if you received that product from somebody else that you made?
Yeah.
That's a great way to improve your business. And a lot of new businesses don't realize they might hate networking, but networking is the best way to grow your connections, your collaborative efforts, and marketing organically, as you were saying earlier. Organic marketing is still very, very, very much important when it comes to starting your business. Like, that is going to help almost the most until you reach to that next market where you need some extra help to market, get more investments. People shouldn't be afraid to network. I know a lot of people are nowadays, but
Yes.
it's still extremely crucial, and it can help build your diversified team so that you can have all those different brains and viewpoints to help grow the business.
Yes.
So,
and I did to add a little bit to the question you asked.
yeah.
Lines of credit and finances and money.
Yes, tell us about it.
Man, startups, you might not have any, but sooner or later you're gonna, when you become successful, because you will, because we're putting positivity out there,
yes.
you will get to a point where you'll be able to walk into a bank or get with a certain group of people, investors, so to speak, and they will want to give you a line of credit or invest in your company, however that goes. Okay, you need to make sure that whatever investment that comes into your company, one, does not give you do not give up control of your company for it. Okay, any investment that is asking for equity in your company, major equity in your company, wrong answer. Okay, you might want to talk to a lawyer, or you might want to talk to someone else that can give you professional information about how that works. That's the first thing. If you do get an investment or a line of credit, before you start spending it, you may want to talk to somebody that is in your line of service, or who sells the same product you sell at a different level, and you might want to try to get some wisdom on what should you invest in first, so you can steer away from either the gurus or the mistakes and not waste your money.
Yeah.
Lines of credit are very, very, very serious. Our company, we've seen other companies that have wasted 4 or 5 figures of lines of credit, and they'll never make that money back. It was a mistake that they've made, and we've learned from it. They've learned from it. We've watched people learn from it, and so it's a very serious thing. So I just want to put that out there, that when you become successful and you start getting to the point where you can get these things where people might want to start investing into your company, make sure you vet that, make sure you look at that, because you don't want to be in a place where somebody else has control or has ownership of your company, or you don't want to be in a place where you've missed out on an opportunity, or you invested the wrong way.
Yeah, no, it's a great warning, because a lot of people are so excited to get those lines of credit, not knowing that they're putting themselves in a hole. So people should definitely be wary that their information, and don't be afraid to say, no, or pause until you have a final answer. Don't contact a lawyer, contact a financial business consultant. Make sure you are 100% sure you're going to be happy with your decision. Yes. And don't let those investors or people rush you into this, because it is a very serious thing for any business of any size, because you can get screwed over and it's sad, but you got to make sure, you got to be a little selfish. You got to make sure you're thinking about you and your business, your company, not what these investors and financial people are saying. Because sometimes they're going to lie. And like you said, you don't want anyone having majority ownership of your company, because it's just going to go downhill most likely.
Yes, in a bad way.
So what would your ideal picture of your business look like, and businesses in general look like, in the next 5 to 10 years? What changes, what is your ideal dream of that look like?
Wow, that's a good question. My ideal dream, basically, what we want is everybody wants to be financially successful in a business to where they can actually step back and receive residual income from it, meaning that the business is so successful that it runs itself without you, and you just can sit on a and basically, I'm just gonna make a simple analogy that basically people just want to sit on the beach, sip on Mai Tais while that check comes in.
That's
And you
true.
can and you can actually say, I'm worth such and such per second right now. Like so that is the ultimate dream for everybody. Everybody would love to have that. That's not a problem. But realistically, we want to get to a point where our business is successful in that way, so we have more time to educate and teach other people on how to do good business. That's what we care about. We want to do good business. We have came across so many people that were on the entrepreneurship train, that are doing all these seminars and doing all this networking, doing all this stuff. And the only reason they're doing it is because, for the simple fact that they think they found a way to get rich quick, or they found a way to make a whole bunch of money in a year, because that's the way something was sold to them, or that's how they got that. And we just want to help people. We don't want to help people get rich quick. We don't want to help people with, hey, you guys can make a lot of money doing this. It's not about that. We just want to help people in general. We want to solve problems. The more successful our business is, the more we can help those people that just need help, that just need a problem solved. Hey, I did make a mistake with a line of credit, and now I don't, I'm stuck in this hole that I don't know how to get out of. And how do I solve these two problems? We want to be so successful that we can get to a point where we can walk in, talk to that business owner and say, you know what, we can help you solve this problem. Even if you don't pay us, we know somebody that can help solve that problem for you. That's how successful we want to be. We want to be that successful.
Yes, that's great. We all want to be successful, and the best thing is to help build others, which will help build yourself. And we that's the biggest point of ExpandCast and GritCON, is that we want to help business owners learn, grow, and build their businesses successfully, and give the advice that we've learned in the past of our own mistakes to help. We're building our success, but we're also trying to build our audience success.
Yes.
And the best thing to do is just diversify your team, talk to other people, make sure you're okay with your decisions, and learn from your mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes because it's inevitable.
Yes.
But
don't stop. Don't stop. There's somebody out there that's probably looking at this that probably made some of the mistakes that me and you were talking about, Sierra. But don't stop. There is a way for you to recover from this. You have companies right now filing bankruptcy because of COVID-19. I promise you they're going to be back. I promise you they're going to be back. Like, do not stop. If you really want to be successful, you can. This country has been built on that kind of stuff. Like, we've watched people that have, mega businesses, and they started in an office, in a cubicle, in an office, a corner cubicle in an office, in a big giant business building. All they had, one desk, little cubicle, one computer. And now, boom, they're like this mega billion-dollar whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if one person can do it, then anybody can do it. It's just that simple. So yes, there's going to be some stuff out there. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to have to get over. For me, being a person of color, racism is an ugly thing, but it's not going to stop me. It's just not. Like I'm, you know, it does exist, but it's not going to stop me. That's my mindset. My mindset is not that it doesn't exist. My mindset is that it exists and it's not going to stop me.
Yeah.
That is what I'm bringing to the table. That is what it's like for a person of color to be in today's free market in this America. So it's just not going to stop us. You know, we whether you're, you know, whatever political way you lean, it doesn't matter. It does exist, but you can still do business. There are people out there that want to do business with me. There are people out there that want to do business with people like me. And it has nothing to do with I'm going to do business with that person just because he's black. No, there's people out there that want to do business with us because they feel as though that we have a quality product and they want to do business with us. It's just that simple. If you keep on keeping on and keep trying to put a quality product in the free market, somebody's gonna want to buy it. There is too much commerce, too much money out here. There's enough money out here for everybody to eat. That is my favorite saying. It really is.
That's great.
There is enough money out here for everybody to eat.
That's
you know, is everybody going to get rich overnight? No, they're not. Is everybody even going to be, you know, no, but you can still eat, you can still make money, you can still sell a product. It can happen. You just don't give up.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for all the wise wisdom. And we hope that everybody here watching Expandcast can learn and make your business successful. Don't lose that passion and use things to your advantage.
Yes. And like I said, there are people out there that are willing to give you the wisdom of what you've been through. Mm-hmm. Do not let anybody tell you that your experiences are not valid or how you feel is not valid. You want to put your energy into people that will listen to you and say, I understand. How about we work on this as a solution? You know, if I understand that, again, this is the marketplace, some solutions might come with money, but at the end of the day, you want to work with people that's got solutions for you, period. They have a solution, a valid solution that's going to solve your problem for you. And if you think that's going to work for you, then hey, there you go. But don't give up.
Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And the more people you have on your team that are different and bring different things to the table, the better off or the more diverse your product will be. I promise you. I promise you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We will see y'all on the next episode. Have a great one, Michael Green, and thanks for giving the audience your perspective on business in America.
Thank you very much, Sierra. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.